Recording in progress.
All right, Coach, we can go a lot of different directions here, but it's got to start on the defensive end. I mean, what you guys did in the second half, 14 points in the third quarter, allowed 12 in the fourth. It really started right there. What a tremendous effort by your team defensively.
Yeah, like you said, Graf, tremendous effort. We talked about it in practice, but just overall, we went out and competed. They knocked us on our heels early, but we sustained, and once we played with a sense of urgency, it was a big difference in our play overall.
Again, you had 3 double-doubles tonight, but I want to start with Kyra Lewis, who really came off the bench and gave you a tremendous spark. You know, he hadn't played in 3 games. Was him sitting was able to sit back and kind of survey things? Did that help him tonight?
You know what? I think more importantly than just the sitting, it's the work that he's been putting in. Kyra comes to the gym at 7 a.m. every morning. Those are the things that people don't see. He wants to be good. He does everything that you ask him to do. We spoke a little bit before he even set the 3 games. And I just talked to him about his role, his responsibility, and I'm proud of what he did tonight. We don't win that game without Kyra Lewis coming in and playing with that type of effort, with that type of energy, and then the scoring is an added bonus on top. But he was defending, he was blowing up screens, he was getting us into our offense. Those are the things that he's capable of and more, and once again, proud of him.
And a little more to that. I mean, what were just some of the things you told him about? Hey, look, here's how you can positively impact games, right?
He has to use his speed. That's what he has that is hard to teach and is special. Use his speed defensively, picking up full court, causing havoc, blowing up screens, and then offensively just hitting and going. When he uses his speed, he's really tough to guard. And I thought he did a really good job tonight of just coming in and playing the type of game that we all have seen, and big time on his part.
And you've said in the past that you want, JV shot the ball really well this year, but you want him to take even more. What did you think about him? Just, I mean, not only making 5, but getting up 9 in this game.
It's what he's capable of. He's an elite shooter based on his numbers this year. So just looking at his numbers, we want him to shoot a few more threes. He went 5 of 9. That's a good percentage, and JV is more than capable. So instead of just diving every time, just having a balance of setting screens and popping, setting screens and diving, mixing it up, and he did a good job of that tonight.
Yeah, in this past road trip, there's a lot of talk about, hey, taking that punch and then responding and not being able to respond. What was it like seeing tonight you guys fall behind and responded with physicality, hitting the boards, those type of things?
Well, tonight was the opposite of what's been happening with us. The last 2 or 3 games, we get out to an early start, an early lead, and then teams up their intensity, and we don't sustain it. Tonight was the opposite. They came out and they punched us right away. Our guys just settled into what we do, which is guard, move the basketball, and play together. And we were able to sustain that and go out and go on a really good run and win the game.
And on that note, just what do you think about the two-way play from Josh Hart these past few games? Attacking the lane, playing defense, all those things.
Josh has been excellent. Everything that we ask him to do, he's going out and giving 110% on both ends of the floor. His game is really flourishing, and we just want to continue to build. It's a really good win against a really good team, and we want to take this momentum into Indiana tomorrow night.
Hey, Willie. Sorry about that. Rod is really excited about the win, guys. I was talking to Ty Lue before the game, and I was just asking him, like, what kind of advice has he given you as this team, struggled a little bit earlier? And he said something about just staying the course is kind of. But how hard has that been to actually do? To keep this team staying the course despite the outcome of some of these games?
You know what? It is at times it can be difficult because the moment things don't go right, you want to change. That's the natural sort of progression is, okay, things aren't going the way we want to, let's change things. But I believe in this team. I believe in our organization. And I believe we'll be a good team. Ty has been great. He's been a great sounding board. Talking to him about, what it's like being a first year, what some things that he did, and he's so willing to share any information. He's been great, like a big brother. We talk all the time, but every now and then, and he's always giving me some nuggets to take into just building our program.
I think it was like 13 free throw attempts total in the game. So clearly they were kind of letting some things go. With this being the 5th and 7 for them in the second half, was that kind of a point of emphasis to just try and be as the rest would let you to kind of just against them?
They're a physical team too. I think they're number 2 defensive rated team in the league. We want to be a physical team. So tonight played to our advantage. We were able to be physical. They let a lot of things go. I those type of games. It was tough for them on a second night of a back-to-back. So once we just sustained their initial thrust, we were able to come out and play up to our ability, which we have to do consistently.
How hard is that then when you're on the first night of a back-to-back to then have to be able to sustain that level of energy after playing such a physical type of game where they let so much stuff go?
Yeah, but it's just a part of the league. We can't do anything about it. The schedule is what it is. You just got to go out and continue to play based on the foundations that you have. That's it.
Yeah, and Paul George is a guy that's, been a discussion for MVP up, so far this season. Just what do you think about the job you guys did against him tonight, forcing him to take tough shots?
I thought we did a really good job making him take tough shots, and thankfully he missed them. But he normally doesn't, and he's considered an MVP candidate because he freaking goes out and he plays hard, he plays the right way, and he can make those shots. But our guys did a really good job of climbing into him. Our bigs were up on the pick and rolls. That was an adjustment we made, especially for him and Reggie Jackson. And I thought we just tried to make his night tough all night long, and good job on our part.
To that, what did you think of the play Herb had on him at the end of the first half there?
Herb
On Paul George.
Herb, he's been great for us, especially to be a young player like that, a rookie, having the instincts that he has defensively and offensively. Herb was a plus 17 in 26 minutes. That says it all. He comes in and he guards. He just does all the little things that help you win games.
Scott on Zoom.
Willie, Josh Hart had some pretty strong words after the game the other night. How meaningful is it just to see him kind of take those words and then when you guys are down 20, be able to back him up? Does that kind of mean a little bit more given all the situation there?
It does. And I think more than anything for Josh, he's just stepping into a leadership role. And his play is showing it. What he's doing with his teammates off the floor, in the huddles, in the locker room, has been excellent. And once again, it's what he's capable of. And we're encouraging him to, look, you got to be a leader this year. And he's done a great job thus far.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Recording in progress.
Hey, Kyra, Willie mentioned that, even before those 3 games you were out of the rotation, he had talked to you a little bit about just, some changes you could make. Just what were those conversations like with Willie about, ways to just impact the game like you did tonight?
Just knowing my role, what I come in to do, picking up 94 feet. When I get in, push the pace. Just knowing my plays, how I can benefit my team, being a pest on the defensive end, and it carried over to tonight.
I think you guys outscored them 51-26 in the second half. Just what'd you like overall about what you guys did as a team in the second half?
Just how we started out in the third quarter. That's been our biggest challenge over these last few games. Just how we start in the third quarter pretty much dictate the second half. So where we came out and just fought, played good defense, got the ball side to side on offense, and just kept on scoring.
Yeah, that was one of the first things Willie mentioned when we asked about you, just your performance on defense. Just what do you think about the way you were executing it on that end and bothering some of the things they were doing on the ball?
It just helped me, just picking up 94 feet and getting to my guy, making it uncomfortable, and on different reads, if I'm a show guy, just playing hard, making the right decisions, anticipating, and just living with the results.
And coming into the game when you know Devontae's not going to play, you're going to get minutes. I guess, what was your mentality coming in just so you can make an impact?
My mentality was just trusting my work and go out there and have fun. It's a game of basketball. I've been doing it my whole life. So that was really my mentality, whatever happened.
I think we might have talked about this before, but it seemed like you had a really good sense of when to use your speed tonight, when to kind of go full, when to pull it back. How different is that maybe from last year, or where you're comfortable knowing, okay, I have to go full speed right here, I got to go 75 right here? How has that changed?
It's just, like I said, just trusting my work. When I went back in summer, that was the main focus. Because last year, that's all I did was go 100%. So when I went back, went to the drawing board, worked out, I just changed speeds on different occasions. And throughout the season, these last 3 games when I was working out, and it just led over to tonight.
Obviously, Willie mentioned talking to you before you were sitting these games. I've seen him talk to you one-on-one at the facility. How much does it help having a coach who will sit you down one-on-one, either when or after practice or whatever, and just let you know, hey, it's this, and if in order to get back to where you want to be?
It helps because, one, the coach cares. He wants to see you do good to help the team. Once again, he plays, so, getting advice from somebody that played for a long time always helps. So, but the main thing for me is just showing that he cares. He wants to see everybody win. He cares about the program. And that's all you can ask for in a coach.
Thanks, Kyra.
Appreciate you.
Recording in progress.
Hey, what's up, Josh? You were real adamant, that last game about the physicality from the team and how teams were kind of throwing that punch and you guys weren't responding the way you wanted to see. Just what did you think about the way y'all did tonight after falling behind and then holding them to 26 in the second half?
Yeah, very proud. The thing about us, even when we give up, when we get down and we dig ourselves a hole, we always, for the most part, fight back and get back into the game. And then we let the game slip away. Or we got a big lead and then we give it up, and then during those adverse situations we don't execute and we give the game away. Today was a big game for us in terms of growing up and maturing because we fought back. Then when we fought back, we were able to get stops first and foremost. Then we were able to run, we were able to execute, we were able to get to our spots, and it was a great one. We got to give Kyra Lewis a lot of credit. Someone who's been in and out the rotation, coming in, playing 22 minutes, giving us a spark. He's putting the work in. He's in the gym 7 o'clock every morning. So it was a big game for us in terms of maturing and growing up.
Yeah, and Willie mentioned, those words from you the last game was important because they're asking you to take on more of a leadership role, being more vocal on the court, in the locker room, those kind of things. Just what's that been like for you, just adjusting to that, being that guy when you were kind of, the young guy for most of your career, and now you're like the sage guy who's got to give these young guys advice.
Yeah, I think I'm like the third, which is kind of weird. So it's definitely a little bit different, but it's something that I'm comfortable with. Then for me, as I go out there and I try to play hard in every possession, and when I do that, I can demand that from those guys, and I can talk to those guys, and what I'm saying actually holds weight because it's easy to talk, talk and tell guys what they're supposed to do, or try to coach guys. But if you're not going out there doing it yourself, those words don't mean anything. So the first thing I had to do was look there and see what I could do differently. And today was definitely one of those games I tried to make sure I was locked in on every possession, and offensively, defensively, on ball, off ball, and I felt like I was able to do that. When I do that, I'm able to obviously hold myself accountable, also hold other guys accountable, and hold them to that standard that I want them to play at. So it's something I'm comfortable with. It's something that, as a leader, you got to make sure you judge yourself and hold yourself accountable first and foremost, and then it trickles down.
I think there were 13 total in the game tonight. It seemed like they were really, it seemed like they were really letting some things go. How did the physical nature of the game play in your guys' favor, especially when you guys were making that comeback?
Yeah, it's kind of funny to hear that because usually it's the opposite side. So it definitely was good because we were able to be a little bit more aggressive at the point of attack, be a little more aggressive on ball. We were able to really be in and protect the pace, especially in that second half with PG and his drives, and being in on the weak side and not letting the roller get behind us and play make. So that physicality definitely helped us, and I don't think it would be like that again, for a little while. But like I said, I'm happy and I'm proud for our guys.
I think JV has already made as many threes this season as he did all of last season. Just what do you think about the way Big Fella's been shooting the ball and just letting it rip from three this season?
Yeah, he's been doing a great job on it. Obviously, he works on it, and we have the confidence in him to do that. And I'll tell him all the time when I get the rebound and I push it, or you get the rebound, you quick outlet it to me. I'm going to the rim, and if I don't have a layup at the rim, I have. The corner as long as our guys run, and a lot of times they're big, try to usually contest me at the rim. So I told them like, just trail in, and whenever you're there, I'm throwing it to you. And if you shoot 10 threes, you're gonna shoot 10 threes. So we have the confidence in him to do that, and I think he's statistically the best 3-point shooter
in the league, I think, right now. So we definitely going to, keep giving it to him there, and we got all the confidence in the world for him to knock those down.
Hey, Josh, you talked about this team's willingness to fight back all the time. What has Willie sort of instilled in y'all to make you all that way, to give y'all as much fight as y'all?
Just to compete. I think that's the biggest thing. We talked about it the other day or yesterday. The difference between working hard, working, and competing. Obviously, two different things. Working hard, you're out there, you're playing, you're doing those kind of things, but competing at the level of the other team, if not higher. And we talked about it. If you're running up and down, by yourself, you're gonna do it hard. But if you put two people against you, you're gonna compete and you're gonna run it even faster. So that's the biggest thing he's getting us to do is make sure we're competing session, and we're not perfect. We're growing, but today was a big step in the right direction in terms of competing for us.
As a defensive guy, I was just wondering what you thought of the Herb Jones block of Paul George's three. It just seemed like something you don't see very often.
I saw the replay. I was actually in the back getting my foot looked at. So I saw that at halftime, and I mean he's someone who's defensively, he's great because he works hard, he's smart, he has the length and the physicality. I think that's the biggest thing. So he was great for us in terms of on the ball on PG, who's having an MVP caliber season, but also off the ball. Even when I was guarding him, kind of shrinking those driving lanes, getting his hands, in the cookie jar with PG driving. So he's someone who's been great for us, and something that doesn't show up all the time in the box score. People look at points and rebounds and all that, but he's someone who's been huge for us on the defense side of the ball.
All right, thanks, Jay.
Perfect, thank you.
All right.
Solid. Brandon, I think you guys outscored them 51-26 in the second half. What did you think you guys did the defense there, those last two quarters?
Well, we brought the first half to the second half tonight. And we had a sense of urgency that we was going to help our guys if they got beat. We had some good on-ball defenders tonight with Herb, Josh Hart, really well. And even on some of our switches with Jackson Hayes, he did a good job of trying to stay in front. And we rebounded the basketball. That was the emphasis after one play that we had where they got about 5 or 6 rebounds in a row. We rebounded the basketball, and we stayed together, and guys stepped up tonight.
Yeah, and you know, Herb's on-ball defense, you hit it up briefly. What did you just think about the play he made at the end of the first half, blocking Paul George's shot there?
It's big for us. It's kind of something that we see from him in practice. We know his ability and what he can do. And he's shown it on some of the best players, so for him to go out there and do that tonight, it's not surprising for us, but it definitely helps our team.
It seemed like in the second half, your aggression went up a little bit more, started hitting the boards a little bit more. Was it something you just noticed from their defense, or you just felt like you just needed to make a bigger impact?
Well, I got a pair of shoes that I wasn't tripping over myself in the second quarter. But that was the emphasis for sure to get myself in the basketball game, rebound the basketball, and make sure that we push the pace and get shot for our offense. And I seen the hole there. We knew that we were on the back-to-back, so pushing the pace was important for us, and we executed it.
And Josh joked about, you know, it being weird for him that he's one of the older guys on the team now, and he got to speak up a little bit more.
Right.
Just what have you seen from him, just kind of stepping into that leadership role, just speaking up a little bit more?
It's important. You know, I think it's important because we do have a lot of young guys that don't necessarily know everything about the game, and for him to be a voice in our locker room and giving advice and getting on guys when he sees something that they aren't doing, it's important for us. And it's important for our young guys to receive it well and go out there and try to adjust and be the best at it.
How much do you think, I mean, there were, I think, 13 total free throws in the game for both of you guys. It seems like they were letting a lot of stuff go. How do you think the physical nature, especially in the second half, played into to you guys' favor?
Well, we had a better response, you know. We talk about the physicality of the game and how our offense kind of dies from that. Instead, we turned it another way, and when it got physical, we got more aggressive, going to the basket, going to the rim, and finding open guys. And we also brought the aggression on the defensive end and rebounded the basketball and stayed in front of guys. So that's what the game for us to take the physicality, try to continue to drive and kick and continue to try to get to the rim, the free throw line, and get stops and rebound the basketball.
You talked a little bit about Josh Hart's leadership and some of the intangible stuff, but what do you think about just what he's been bringing to the court as far as I remember you joked about his assists in the Memphis game, but it seems like since then he's done, you know, he's been scoring and rebounding and just being really productive.
He's just being him. He brings the toughness to our team, the intensity, and you can tell he wants to win. So he just brings it every single game on the defensive end, and on the offensive end, just getting rebounds and pushing it on the break, and he just brings energy for our team.
B.I., could you talk a little bit about Kyra Lewis's game and his impact off the bench for you guys? It seemed like he was playing with a good aggression throughout his time out there on the court.
He stayed ready tonight. I'm not even sure if he played last game. He's been on the bench for a little while, and he's been working. He's been working at the practice facility with his player development coach, and he came out tonight and he showed what he's been working on, and he looked very confident and comfortable going out there. I think being on that bench, it brings the fuel, and he definitely brought the fuel today, and he played pretty smart.
I don't think we've asked you this since you came back, but just where are you at physically since coming back from that hip? Is this something you're still dealing with, or do you feel like you kind of put it behind you?
You know, it's some. It's not. I'm not 100%. I don't think I'm gonna ever be 100% playing these games, but I'm close to it. It doesn't bother me. It's not anything that's lingering around that's stopping me from doing everything that I want to do on the basketball floor. So it feels fine. I'm just continuing to try to get a rhythm back in my game and hopefully make some more shots.
I just had a quick one. I was just wondering what you think of the way that the groove that Jonas is in as far as shooting threes.
Yeah.
What do you think about just what he's been doing lately?
Well, he's wide open, and I didn't know he could shoot that well, but he's shown to touch on the ball that he can shoot the basketball from three. So we encourage it. It brings us another dimension to our team. If he can shoot that open three up there, and he can open a lot of things up for our team. So we encourage him to keep shooting it. We love him down low in the paint, but if he's open for it, we want him to shoot it if he's open.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah.
Recording stopped.